So, Ting Ting, I was looking at the marketing dashboard this week, and wow, we had a record number of MQLs coming in, record number of opportunities, which is awesome.
Thank you.
I was looking a little closer at them, and the opportunity value looked a little bit lower than the segment we've been targeting. What do you think about that?
Colin, my team has always cared a lot about the quality of the leads and opportunities. So have we examined the execution process lately on your team?
I think that's a fair question. Like, how are we handling those opportunities marketing is generating? I'll have to look and ensure we're converting them, we're responding at a fast clip here. And folks, that's the push and pull, right, with marketing. You've probably heard that conversation many times. Marketing generating the MQLs, is sales qualifying them and taking the ball the right way to the end zone. So I'm Colin Specter, VP of Sales at Orum, and I've been the head of sales for 4 years at Orum. Orum started originally as an outbound sales motion until we brought on Ting Ting, our VP of Marketing, 2 years ago. And I'm joined here with Ting Ting.
Yes, my name is Ting Ting Luo. I've been building the marketing team from scratch at Orum for the last 2 years. And it's been so crucial for us to build a really crucial revenue engine here at Orum.
That's right. So we're excited to share with you today 4 lessons and tactical reflections that we've learned over the past 2 years, going from 100% outbound revenue engine to an integrated go-to-market machine the past 2 years of combining sales and marketing collaboration. So, number 1, every touch point counts in your sales and marketing funnel. When you think about your brand and the way you interact with your market and your customers, investment in brand is a CAC deflator. It lowers the customer acquisition costs when you invest in your brand. And so if you've heard about Orum over the past 12 months, which many of you likely have, it's because of those investments in our brand. And we're not just talking about pouring marketing dollars and cents into demand generation. It's about investing in brand enablement with your frontline salespeople. It's about training them on the voice of your brand, the values that your company's aligned to, and it's ensuring that you have a consistent message from the cold call script to the posts on social media to the post-sale customer handoff, and that message is consistent. Because when you reduce that uncertainty for your customers, it reduces buyer friction, right? It makes sense when your brand represents you consistently and holistically. And so we look to our individual contributors, our salespeople, to be a part of that brand experience and that investment. We've intentionally enabled our people and empowered them to be a representative of our brand. So they post, our salespeople post on social media. You likely have seen many of our folks out there sharing advice and best practices. And so investing in brand, not just from the marketing and content engine, but the individuals, was a key lesson for us over the past 2 years here. Number 2, continuous improvement. With your sales and marketing counterparts, having that Kaizen mantra, right? Kaizen's that Japanese Toyota continuous improvement mantra. And the way we think about this at Orum, we have a saying, shavings make a pile. We look for that 1 to 5% incremental improvement in our sales and marketing funnel, and those add up. Those add up over time. And a quick example of that, how many of you require phone fields on your demo requests and pricing request forms? How many of you? Okay, for those that don't require it today, give it a shot. Give it a try. And originally we thought, hey, if we require phone fields, we might get a drop-off in people requesting a demo or doing a pricing form. But in fact, what it was causing was the salesperson had to go and enrich the number and go chase the number down, and people weren't always providing their phone number. But the phone is the #1 converting channel, not just at Orum, but a recent study we conducted across 1,000 companies said the phone was the #1 converting channel for their marketing leads, right? People that are high intent hand raisers saying, I want to learn more about you, they will provide their number. They're not going to hold back on it. And so it gives your sales team an opportunity to call them right away, speed to lead, and have that conversation and bring them into an opportunity here. So again, shavings make a pile here.
Thanks so much, Colin. So the third lesson here is to really immerse into your persona. Over the last 12 months, a lot of things have been changing in the SaaS world. So some of the questions that we continue to ask ourselves are, how is your buying environment changing? How are your buying committees changing? How are your buying personas changing? And how do your messages need to adapt to make that happen? We're really lucky at Orum that we have a wealth of sales expertise at the company. And actually, over half of our sales team have been either in a decision-making role or an influence role in a previous, for a product like Orum in the past. So this culture of collaboration and two-way communication between my team and Colin's team ensures that the information is actually happening at their fingertips, and it's easy for that information to pass across for each of these persona learnings. More formally, what this looks like for my product marketing team is 4 specific steps. Number 1, they're doing prospect and customer interviews every month because things are changing every day in our world. Number 2, we're listening in for how that first conversation between sales reps and prospects are landing. So at Orum, we use our call library to review and track. There are many other tools out there that allow you to do that. So that's a key source of insight for my product marketing team. Number 3, they're doing deep persona research in new people that have entered the buying committee. So, in one of our recent deals, we saw that there were 17 specific contacts that were engaged over a 15-month period in order to close a deal. So there's a lot more that we need to learn about different personas, especially ops and finance in the last few months that have entered the arena. And then lastly, and this is a really important one, is the enablement. An insight hasn't landed until it's being fully received by your marketing and your sales development and your sales and CS team. So we spend actually a lot of effort thinking about that end delivery and making sure that things are landing, especially in a remote organization. All right, our last lesson here is around driving clarity. Each one of you probably have a set of expectations for your team. You probably also have a set of expectations for your counterparts team, right? Like in sales or in marketing. And how do you know that those are actually aligned? To tackle this, we turned to a really simple exercise. It's a written exercise that we did at our last leadership offsite. And every leader wrote down, what are your expectations of every other team at the company? And then that leader was given the collated set of responses from the rest of the leadership team. So what are my Ting Ting's expectations of product and sales and engineering and every other team at the company? We find that we're a diverse team that's come from various experiences, stages of companies, and a lot of times there are implicit assumptions and expectations that give us blind spots or make it really tough to align on specific priorities. And by making these implicit things really direct and explicit, it gives us room to really focus on building strong relationships and working with each other. So one specific tool that we've leaned on to do this is a decision matrix called Rapid. So working together, working well together isn't always about doing everything together or having consensus. It's just about being clear about who owns what, like pricing and packaging or market segmentation and prioritization. We find that having this level of clarity helps us accelerate. And many early stage companies tend to shy away from processes like this because it may feel a little corporate or over-engineered. But for us, this level of clarity helps us ensure that we're rowing in the same direction as a company. All right, so these are our 4 takeaways. And if you look at them, as a company whose vision is to make sales more human, they're really focused around constant communication and live conversations, and that should be no surprise. So that's very much embedded in the DNA of the company, how we work with our customers, and that's very much implicit in the way that Colin and I build our partnership as sales and marketing counterparts as well. Thank you so much for the time today. We're going to stick around just over there for a few more minutes to chat, but come by our booth over in Hangar West. We're at booth 231. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you, everyone.